Days Gone remastered with a PS5 upgrade. Mm, yeah, let's get that. I haven't been big on
I
the.
thought you ponies liked exclusives. It's made by a first party Sony studio. What are you doing, man? You know, the state of play was garbage, man. Cause you know why? Cause out of all those good games that they showed, I could pick them up on PC as well as Xbox. It's so funny that when Xbox Showcase does this, oh, ponies want to act like it's some form of a victory. So I'm going to act like it's a victory for Xbox, which means that nobody needs a PlayStation 5 to enjoy the 99% of the games that they showed. It is what it is, man. And you know that game's sorrow because you know that game's going to make you cry when you go out there and buy it. It's a double A game, bro, from an indie studio. Y'all ain't getting no triple A's. You didn't even see Marvel's Wolverine, Ghost of Yote, not even a God of War Saga collection, man. You know, that really hurts my soul, Puerto Rock, man. And for you to give this a 7.5 is very disingenuous, considering that the majority of those games that you could play ain't even owned by PlayStation, bruh. So what are we doing at this point, man? You sit there and tell people that exclusives are important in the gaming community, but yet even you don't even want to support them. You don't even want to buy a remastered version of Days Gone because we know that PlayStation games ain't valued in the same way. You remaster Gears of War Ultimate Edition for PlayStation or Nintendo Switch, I'm picking it up because I'm a fan of those games. No different than the Onimusha 2 and the Capcom Fighting Collection, even though I own these games already, but I would love to play them on modern hardware. When you're that much of a diehard fan, in some cases, you will buy that version of the game. You know what I'm saying? But you? Oh, we don't even want to upgrade $10, 10 measly dollars of your PlayStation 4 copy to get all these bonuses and features. Come on, man. Sony's out here robbing you fools, bruh.
Remasters of PS4 games. I haven't really been feeling it.
Oh, really? Is that why you picked up The Last of Us remake? The Last of Us Part 2 remastered? Are we going to sit there and go like this, man? Weren't these the same games that you were saying running 4K 60 on the PlayStation 5 and probably running the same thing on the PS5 Pro? These are things that you stated, bro. And now you're going to sit there and tell people, oh, I'm not looking forward to these remastered games. Maybe you've been playing them too much. Maybe you've been playing too many PS4 games that you're like, man, I got to just get out of this generation.
Like remasters of PS4 games, I just haven't been feeling it. Other people's have, you know. It's done pretty well from the sales point of view, so somebody's buying it, and that's why they keep.
No, the PS4 version did well, but I don't think people are really upgrading their version. Maybe if you're a Days Gone fanatic, maybe. But like I said, man, where is Sony getting the money, man? This is lazy, bro. And what's even more funny, that same $10 that you're paying for an upgrade of an existing game, Microsoft does entirely for free. You do understand that. When Gears 5 was on the Xbox One, Microsoft gave a free update to get the game to 4K and 120 frames for free. They didn't charge people $10 like what you ponies keep paying for on PlayStation.
Making it, but I'm just like, skip for me in that one. PS5 upgrade for $10. It depends on the horde mode. I did enjoy the whole horde mode in the original game, but I'll be honest.
I mean, I would have just preferred if Sony just calls it a DLC, man. But using this whole, oh, it's a 4K upgrade, like, I mean, come on, bro. How about you give the upgrade that people want, like Bloodborne at 60 FPS? What about that, Sony? Because we know you got that Bloodborne remastered in the works, but you don't want to drop it right away because you know you have nothing. I can guarantee that's going to probably be a PlayStation 6 launch game with the way Sony's going. Because it is in the works, guys. It is most definitely being made. I'm just letting y'all know. So it is coming. We just don't know when it's coming because it just seems like Sony is just trying to stall the inevitable to give you guys a reason to want to still continue to play on the PS5 platform. They can't just give you everything because if they give you everything right now, they're not going to have anything for later.
I'm not interested in playing the single player, the story again. One of my biggest critiques is how long it takes to open up. And until you get to the third camp, it's pretty rough.
That's funny because a lot of people could say the same thing about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
And I'm not willing to go through that again.
So I guess it's not that good of a game.
Play with the DLCs, finally arriving on PC.
DLC,
multiplayer. One of the best games this gen.
Definitely not.
If you haven't played Stellar Blade, you're absolutely missing out. And along right after, Tides of Annihilation. I'm like, man, so I'm loving these action games.
But none of these games are made by Sony, though. None of these games are made by PlayStation, man. See, this is why people tell you, man, that PlayStation is just losing it, bro. What happened to the days when we used to hear the kills on the Resistance, the Infamous, the Folklore, the Warhawk, the Storehawk, the Mag, the SOCOM, the Ratchet and Clank, the Sly Cooper, the Jack? I mean, it's not like it's not like Sony don't have IPs. It's the fact that all these franchises have died to the point where we don't see him anymore. And that's what's hurtful to the diehard PlayStation fan. The PlayStation 5 ain't nothing but another glorified third-party box where people play most of their Apex Legends and Fortnite games on. It's trash.
Between also the side, Stellar Blade, now Times of Annihilation, that's another game I'll be looking for.
Like, you giving this a 7.5 is absolutely ridiculous, bro. You know dang well that weren't no 7.5 performance, man. It got to the point where PlayStation fanboys you could just see the look in their face, man. Like, I'm so disappointed, bro. Sony didn't come. They didn't even give y'all a God of War Saga collection, bro. 6 games for the price of $60. I mean, Sony just don't know what they're doing. Sony's not trying to take any gambles, and with how expensive gaming is becoming, I can highly doubt that Sony is going to continue on with this, bro. They're going to be mostly focusing on AA titles because AAA is where they're losing the majority of their money.
But there was no date. It's on a wish list.
Yeah, what about Death Stranding 2? What about Wolverine? What about, I mean, come on, bro. Like, for you to say that, we needed to see at least one big major release. Wolverine, Ghost of Yote. Maybe he was expecting baby steps. Maybe that's why he didn't score it as high. But, I mean, come on, bro. Really? Sony hasn't even showed off no game that they already know. And we know they're working. So Sony's going to show a Marvel Wolverine, and then we ain't going to hear about it for a few years. I guarantee it's probably a cross-generation game. Like, why we even... The PS5 generation should be over, as far as I'm concerned. Because all Sony's going to do is drop these games as close to the PS6, and then you might as well just buy the PS6 version and just say, forget the PS5. I can guarantee Sony's going to do this. They did it with the PS4. I can guarantee you they're going to do it again with the PS5 and the PS5 6, man. Who wants to call it? I made that claim right now. And I really think that's what's going to happen. And I think GTA 6 is going to do the same thing. They're going to drop GTA 6 this year or potentially whatever. They're going to drop it, and then they're going to have the next-gen version the next following year with all the bells and whistles. So essentially, you're buying Grand Theft Auto 6 beta. You want the real Grand Theft Auto experience? That's probably, you know what's another good point? That's probably why they delayed it on PC. Oh, that's a good point, Gamester. That's a good point right there, because they know that the console version of PS5 and Xbox Series X, that won't be the next gen. I'm sorry, not next gen. That won't be. It's like the 360 PS3 version of GTA 5, and you know how it lacked all those features that the PS4 and Xbox One had. I guarantee that's going to be the same thing with GTA 6. So there you go. So Rockstar's going to double dip, and it's going to work too.
The next game, Mind's Eye. It's a third-person shooter. Looks interesting. Something Days Gone remastering, for whatever reason, is bothering me. I'm bothered by that one. The other remasters didn't really bother me so much, but for some reason, this one...
Because you know why? Because look at this man, look like he's about to cry. Because with this game in particular, they were supposed to be a sequel, but Sony don't want to give them the time of day to do that. They would rather say, okay, if you want to do that, just do a remastered version of the same game. That's showing you that Sony, even when games, I mean, it wasn't really highly reviewed, but a lot of people did play it. It is definitely a core audience for that game, but Sony's don't see an appeal of it because they're not going to make the money. Maybe if the game was, well, it is multiplayer, but I'm just saying if it was on Xbox or whatever other console, maybe Sony, honestly, if you think about it, right? You guys are mad at Xbox for expanding and putting their games on PlayStation or potentially the Nintendo Switch too. I'm not mad. Look at the output of games. Look what Smooth said. Like, Microsoft has published 20 games, bro. Look at that for once. Stop looking at it from exclusivities, okay? Because if you really think about it, that is what's, and they still got more coming. That is what's important to the gaming community. I'm tired of people holding on to the fact of exclusivity because it seems like exclusivity is what's hurting these gaming companies as to why they don't want to take these gambles because they're afraid that their own audience wouldn't pay for them. I don't think Resistance 4 would have got canceled if it was multiplat between PC and Xbox. I don't think it would. I think the reason why Sony canceled it was due to the fact that they knew you guys wouldn't buy it. They needed more people to support that game. So all I'm going to sit there and say, because I always own multiple platforms, so the exclusivity is never a problem for me, baby, as you can clearly see. It's never a problem here, baby. You already know, man, real gamer movement. It ain't never a problem over here for me. Because I just buy both consoles because I ain't a pathetic fanboy like you, G. But at the same time, for certain games, if it, like I said before, this goes back to my original argument. I would prefer to have the franchise exist and go multi-plat than to see my favorite franchises die. Only a real gamer would say that. Puerto would rather have his franchise die, right, than to have the game drop on Xbox or PC to see the game have any sort of successful. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know. It's just something about this game. Like, this game being remastered. I'm like, this game? Because, I'm sorry, Days Gone was not well received.
I mean, if you're talking about reviews and Metacritic, maybe not. But there was a lot of people that bought that game, man. There was a lot of people that liked it. So, I don't... what point are you trying to make with this video, bruh?
The sales was not a discount. It launched in a not good, so good state. The pacing was off.
I mean, just like Cyberpunk, and look what happened with that game. Now people love it.
You know? And I'm like, Days Gone remastered. And it dawned on me.
Like Until Dawn.
This is my opinion now. I'm listing my opinion.
My opinion.
But I think Sony's full of shit when they say they need remakes to sell to fund new games. I don't think that's a true statement at all.
Uh-oh.
At all.
Uh-oh.
What I think is these remakes, what they're doing is they're covering Sony's ass for having a failed live service strategy. That is what's happening. Remakes is their backup plan.
And how is that beneficial to the gamers, man? So you just admitted it. So now that we're in full realization mode, because like you said, their live service and subscription approach has not been successful, but this is where you're capping, bro. You're not being consistent with yourself, because you know why? It's more than that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a game that they helped funded, flop and failed, and is also dropping on Xbox. What is the other one? Forspoken, another game that Sony helped co-develop. A single-player game, flopped. Stellar Blade didn't really do that well, but it did well because it was a AA. Astrobot did well because it was a AA. These games are only doing well at 1 point millions because they are AA's. But every time Sony did a AAA, like an Until Dawn remake, sold worse than Concord. Another highly expensive game, Concord, failed. Marvel Spider-Man 2, probably out of all of the AAA games that they've had, was probably the most successful, right? Because God of War Ragnarok and Horizon, you can't really say... I mean, they were successful, but you can't really say they were, because they weren't really successful off the backs of the PlayStation 5, as if those games came out on the PS4. Because when God of War sold 20 million, it sold 20 million on the PS4. It didn't need PS4 and then PS5. It didn't need 100 million PS4s and then 70 million PS5s to sell God of War Ragnarok. And what's even more laughable, God of War Reboot still outsold God of War Ragnarok, even though the game was on two highly profiled platforms. I'm telling you, man, Sony is dying from the inside out, bro. You will not see Sony be putting out no more first-party games like they used to. You're starting to see the root of it. They'll focus on AA's, SARS. Like I said, Returnal, so even though it sold like, 1-2 million, it made its money, because if you do the math and you look at the budget, keyword, budget, that's how you know they made money. Okay? Because of the budget of the game. But if the game costs 400-500 million to make, and it only sold that, like a Final Fantasy Rebirth, then yes, the game would have failed.
In the event the live service strategy falls apart, they can rely on these cheap, low production remakes.
There you go. About time, Puerto. I'll give this man a round of applause for keeping it honest for once.
That is what I think is happening. That is why I think they want you to buy remakes.
Game still with another W. What did I tell you, man? Sony don't have nothing for you. Sony don't want to go to the bank. They were like, you know what, take the same game. You know, it's essentially no different than if we patch the game on a PC and put some extra features in. That costs Sony literally nothing. I mean, it's at this point, Sony's nickel and diming their community because they're afraid to come out with $400, $500 million games because they're afraid that the game's going to fail like Concord.
Not to fund new games. And the reason why I say it doesn't make sense to fund new games, if it's really that challenging to fund new games from games that get released. Picture this. You got single-player games.
Then make the multi-plat, Puerto Rock. Make a multi-plat. Because if these games, which some of them are good, and if they can't rely on themselves to bring in the money for Sony the way they want, then put them on PC, and which they are doing, and then or put them on Nintendo Switch or Xbox. You're just proving our point that exclusivity is what's hurting consoles and gaming. You just proved it.
That actually come out and get sold. Some sell super great, like the Spider-Man's, God of War's, Horizon.
Which were all PS4 games. Spider-Man was on PS4 and 5. Miles Morales was on PS4 and 5. God of War Ragnarok was on PS4 and 5. God of War Remastered 2018 was on PS4 and 5. Horizon Zero Dawn, the remastered version on PS4 is on PS4 and 5. Even the new game is on PS4 and PS5. So if you notice something, all these games have been successful due to PS4 and PS5. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is the only game that actually did well on its own merits. On PS5 only.
Zero Dawn, right? Ghost of Tsushima.
PS4 and PS5. So you just literally exposed why they doing it, bruh. What did I just tell you? The only games that Sony has been successful with is PS4 games. This is why when I was telling y'all, y'all bragging about 4K 60 on a PS4 game, God of War Ragnarok? Oh, we got 4K 60. I would hope it would be able to do that. The PS5 is more powerful than the PS4. What are y'all doing? But let's go through that list again, baby. Exposed.
Come out and get sold. Some sell super great, like the Spider-Man's, God of War.
PS4 and PS5, besides Marvel Spider-Man 2, God of War PS4, PS5, Horizon series PS4, PS5.
Wars, Horizon.
Gran Turismo 7, PS4 and PS5.
Zero Dawn, right?
Let's go.
Ghost of Tsushima.
PS4 and PS5.
And then you got those that have mid-level sales, like the Astrobot.
That's not mid-level. That is beyond abysmal. 1.5 million for a game like that, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro.
The Rift Apart, the Returnals.
1 million, which it was successful, but mostly due to budget.
But they all release, and they all get some type of sales. They all make money in some way.
No, they don't, because the budget, bro. What you don't understand about the budget? When you have a higher budget, you need more people to buy the game. The reason why because I did look at the budget of Astrobot. Yes, Sony did make their money. Same thing with Returnal. Yes, they made their money off the lackluster sales, but that has more to do with the low budget. You get what I'm saying? If Astrobot, that's probably why Astrobot wasn't as ambitious as it was, but if it had a $200 or $300 million budget, Astrobot would have failed at those lackluster sales. That's why Square was telling you that Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth didn't do enough because they spent about that much to make those games. So now we're starting to see that PlayStation is going to be like Nintendo. Y'all going to be making better looking AA games. And even then, Nintendo's still going to outsell you. This is embarrassing. Like, you're trying to tell me that a AAA company is now have to take one of the extra A's out of it because they can't afford to do them no more? At least Microsoft, AAA. They getting the AAAs. Y'all ain't getting them.
Some make more money than others, but they're making money.
Microsoft destroyed y'all.
These live service games that got canceled, they got poured in money. Up to a certain point, invest. And they say, you know what? We're shutting this down. That means everything, every dollar, every penny that they invested is gone. There's nothing.
So just admit the PS5. So the PS5 generation cannot recover from this. Sony wants this to end. Not Microsoft, because Microsoft's doing quite well ripping you ponies off of Forza Horizon 5. But like I said, this makes sense as to why Microsoft says, go in for that. Let's go. We know Sony's struggling. We can take their audience from them. So if you're an Xbox gamer and you think that this is a negative towards your company or your brand, you're stupid. Because at the end of the day, Xbox is going to be represented regardless, no matter where it goes. That's what you people don't understand. You're not looking at the big picture. You're just looking at it because of my console, my hardware, my console. That's what I need to feel important. That feel important, garbage. I feel important. You know why I feel important on Xbox? All these games, day and date on Game Pass. I feel important. Oh, when we have it. I don't care. You have to buy them for $70. Go ahead. By all means, if that's what you want to do. And on top of paying for these games, subscription games, paying microtransactions for the other games that you play. We saving money. I could take that money and buy another game on Xbox. That money that I would have normally spent on buying that game, I could put it to a game that I normally wouldn't have, like a GTA 6, because Xbox has took care of me by putting Ninja Gaiden 4 on the subscription service, which is a subscription service that you people pay for to play third party. So I have access to the best third party in the back, access to the best games, all Microsoft made through a Game Pass Ultimate, including Sniper Resistance, which is a game that they don't make, but day and date. You got to pay $60 on PlayStation, man. You cannot sit there and undermine the value of Game Pass. Go ahead, call it trash or whatever, but y'all know if PlayStation had something like this, y'all would be supporting it. The reason why PlayStation can't do it, because all you got to do is wait at the end of the year. Let me see. Okay, they got Ghost of Yote, Sorrows. Okay, all those games coming out in the same year. Okay. So what I would do, this is how I would do it with PlayStation. See, Xbox, they always give you something new to look at and play. But PlayStation, all you would have to do is wait at all the exclusives to drop on the PlayStation Premium if they did day and date, and then beat because they're single-player games. It's not games that you want to play online anyway, and beat them at the end of the year. Okay, what's this? God of War, Hookah Hookah, Ratchet and Clank, Hookah Hookah, Motorstorm, Hookah Hookah. Okay, they all coming out this year. Okay, I'm going to play all these games at Christmas, pay the $20, beat all those games in a month, and then unsubscribe. There you go. That's why PlayStation can't be successful. Nintendo can be successful because you know why? They have games that people want to flock to. So if Nintendo did a Nintendo Pass and they charge their audience to play all the greatest games of Nintendo through a subscription service, people will still pay for it and play it. That's what you don't understand. I need to get back to my Animal Crossing. I need to get back to my Smash Bros. I need to get back to my Mario Kart. I need to get back to my Splatoon. I need to get back to my 3D World. I need to get back to my Mario Maker. I occasionally like Donkey Kong. I occasionally like this game. So Nintendo and Xbox have the power of the gamer. Sony don't. Y'all don't. It's like the GameStop reference. Power to the players. And yet PlayStation don't have power amongst their own audience. Because Xbox, they do. Nintendo, they do. Even if Nintendo said we're not selling games. I gotta get to my Pokemon. I need to get to my Mario Kart. They will be successful. Can we all agree? We all can agree to that, right? There you go. Sony, you can't do that, man, because you just wait for all the single-player games to drop at the end of the year. They're like, oh, is this Wolverine? Okay. Intergalactic? Okay. All these games come this year? Okay. You know, they're dropping that one in May and the other one in August. Okay. All right. So I'm going to look at the roadmap. Okay, the roadmap. Okay, all the games are going to be dropped day and date on PlayStation Premium. Okay, I'm going to wait at the end of the year and play them all at once and then unsubscribe. No money. So Sony won't get money. So Sony has no other option but to sell you the game. Nintendo can make money with the Xbox way. They can make money that way. They can just say, we give you all the Nintendo games, you pay a certain subscription fee, and people will do it. Because Nintendo games are expensive. Let's not lie here, people. They are expensive. So if they had something like that, people would pay for it. To have access to Mario Kart, Splatoon, all in one subscription. I think if you're a Nintendo gamer and you think that would be a cool idea for Nintendo, you let me know in the comment section. But Nintendo obviously doesn't have to do that right now. But I'm just saying. But if they did, they would be successful in it. Guaranteed.
Even Concord, which did come out, such a colossal failure, they had to refund everything. So that game made nothing. So if single-player games that come out and sell ain't enough to make games, then what does that mean with live service projects that don't even see the light of day?
Single-player games ain't selling that much either, bro, because if you think Astrobot is really putting Sony back on the map, they're barely getting that much money back in return because that many people didn't buy it. Y'all acting like the game sold 10 to 20 million copies. I can guarantee you, if it was a Nintendo IP, the game would have sold over 5 million, guarantee. You PlayStation ponies don't buy your games, bro. It's official. Cut it out, bro.
Even after investing millions into them. That's worse. At least the single player games, even like Astrobot or Ripped Apart, they made some type of millions.
Because they were low budget games. That's why. The only company that can transition to full AAA would be Nintendo. They can, but they wouldn't go that far. You feel what I'm saying? They don't want to take those games, but they will make it. If they made a AAA Legend of Zelda game, yes, they could get by it. I would say people would still buy it, right? But Nintendo's like, why do that if we're putting the least amount of money in this AA and they still buy it anyway? So that's why they do it. Now with Sony, y'all can't even get away with it. Y'all only making money off AA's because they cost less.
Right? 1 million copies at $70, $60 is still, 1 million copies at that price, it's still something.
Yeah, oh my, here we go with it. It's still something. So when Square told you that their game flopped and failed and they put $400-500 million on Rebirth in 16, and they sold 3 million, that was, dude, do the math, bro. Do 3 million times 70. They did not make the money back, bro. That's how I know when these games are failing. I'm not saying it because I'm an Airbot fan. I'm an Airbot fan. I don't say that. I don't say it because of that. I'm saying it because I did the mathematics. I times the 3 million times the $70 that the game was sold, which is even more laughable. We don't know how many of them were bought in bundles, but just for the sake of the argument, and it still didn't make money. Even when you include the bundle. Even when you include the Final Fantasy 16 bundle, which means that it counts as a sale, but they didn't buy it. And it still failed. What do you people don't understand? Even when you bundle the game with the console, and you want to just use them as if 3 million people went out and bought it to the store, and not just a guy that bought the PS5 with the 16 attached to it to play his little Madden and his NBA 2K, and it still failed. Bro.
These live service projects, nothing. They get nothing. Helldive is literally the only one. Every other project.
And that's because of PC, right? Multiplat.
They got canceled, whatever. Nothing. Done. Nothing.
Yeah, we get that.
But the remakes can supplement and cover those losses.
Wow.
That's what the remakes are doing.
So how do you feel about that?
Remakes is little, portionally saving Sony's ass.
Wow. Imagine a company got to depend on remasters and remakes to save your own behind. Just admit it, man. PlayStation is done. Hey, because if this is what Sony's doing, all you're doing is pushing people to want to go to PC, Nintendo, and Xbox, bro. Because that's concerning that you're saying that remake. I'm tired of them, bro. Where's the new games, bro? Where's the new games? I'm not saying some remasters ain't fine, but where's the new games from Sony?
If they didn't make those remakes, what would cover the losses of
which is only hurting us, the gamers.
Projects.
Wow.
That's why these remakes are being made. Then you cannot tell me a fucking remake that sells 1 million or whatever, that's gonna fund the new game. But the actual games they make that sells 5 million, 6 million, that's not enough to fund.
Because they're not. Hold on. What are you talking about, bro? Stellar Blade 1 point, Astro Boy 1.5, Ratchet. I think it was about maybe 4 or 5. I think it did all right, but due to budget, Concord didn't make that money. Until Dawn remake did not make that money. 16 did not make that money. Rebirth did not make that money. Forspoken did not make that money. What you don't understand? And the reason why they didn't make that money, because of the budget of those games. It seems like you people don't understand how mathematics work.
Get out of here, bro. Remakes is saving Sony's ass.
Wow, and that's why you hear that, guys? That's why PS5 has been having, you just make somebody want to trade this in the GameStop. But at least you got Airbot game though, right? At least you can play Airbot games.
Projects that completely failed. Oh, don't worry, we got a remake. Didn't cost that much. It's a remaster. Think about it. They pretty much relaunched the PS4.
Ooh! Gamester with another W. And we heard it from the pony's mouth. Let's go.
The PS5, when you think about it at this point.
Yeah.
You got The Last
Let
of
them
Us
know.
remake, which was already remastered.
Woo!
The Last of Us 2 remastered.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Horizon Zero Dawn remastered.
PS5, go ahead. PS5 ain't nothing but a PS4 in disguise. Gamester with another W. Who called this? I did. Let's go.
At this point,
Come on.
all they got to do to complete the cycle,
Let's go.
When you think about is release a God of War 2018 remaster.
Come on.
Infamous remaster.
Come on. I love
You
it.
pretty much got most of the titles.
A PS4 generation again.
What else is left?
Oh, you forgot? Uncharted 4 got remastered too. I can't, bro. It's over. PlayStation ponies, just go home, man. It's over.
And Drive Club.
It's over.
Killzone Shadowfall remastered. Like you pretty much.
Until, let's not forget, Until Dawn remake.
Relaunched the PS4.
And you guys are happy about that?
Say,
oh,
we had to do The Last of Us 1 remastered or remake because these games were fun future games.
No,
so you're telling me The Last of Us 1 that sold 20 million is not enough to make games. Oh, we had to remaster Spider-Man, to make new games.
No, it's a hustle. That's what Sony's doing. They're hustling their audience.
Man, sold like 20 million. Spider-Man 2.
Man, like I said, man, we done with this. But Spider-Man 2 is an exception, but not the rule. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. And like I said before, ponies, they don't have nothing. You heard it from the horse's mouth. PS4, the PS5 ain't nothing but a relaunched PS4. You heard it from him. You didn't hear it from me, guys. You heard it from him. Take care. Peace out.